Hello, friends. Happy Monday. It's Carrie from Stretch G. Welcome back. I'm super excited that you guys are here. Hi, Crystal. Anyone else who's online, be sure to say hi. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to work on today. Otherwise, we'll just get right to it. Just a quick announcement on ways that you guys can help me grow this channel, how you can help me to survive through this strange time for us. Now, and I would super appreciate it. For those of you who are already doing this, I appreciate you so much. For those of you who have donated, thank you a million times. And I love your support. I love it so much. So Ron, hi. And Surrey, you guys, look at what she brought in just now. She has this toy that she drags around. It's like an octopus on a chain. She just brought it in. So thank you for that. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. Yes. Okay. It's a little chilly in here, so I have tea today. I'm wearing my cat socks, So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I will warm up pretty quick. I gotta switch this. Sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient. You can tell it's Monday. It's amazing that even when we're in we're in lockdown, every day kind of runs into the other. Monday still feels like Monday. I think it's because I don't stretch on Sundays, and I spent yesterday, took 3 naps, and I ate a lot of chocolate, and I watched TV all day long. That's all I did. And I left the windows open last night, and it's freezing in here today. So I figured we would really get warmed up at first, get really into our bodies, work on some things today. Guys, sorry. Yes. And then the big stretch we're going to work on today is called revolve pose. It is a standing pose, a standing twist. I am aware of the fact that those of you who are on right now might not enjoy twists so much. Or maybe it's exactly what you need. I don't know. So what we're going to do is get into this pose from a really basic place and try to get in and out of each stretch in a way that feels really good. See if we can open some things up. But I just want to really stress to you guys that nothing that we do in resistance stretching, absolutely nothing, should hurt at all, okay? So if you're having any kind of feelings of uncomfortableness, feeling unstable, maybe even if you're feeling frustrated or there's any pain at all, just stop, because that just means that you're not supposed to be doing that stretch, okay? That's all it means. It's not a big deal. It could be that you skip a certain stretch today and come back to it on a different day. It could also mean that you just need to move in very small ranges of motion, which just reinforces the stability that you have so that that stability can grow over time. Okay, so stay in small ranges of motion, be really good to yourself, and use this time to explore what your body wants to do instead of trying to push it into places that it doesn't want. Okay, follow? You got me? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is revolve triangle, just to kind of see where we're at. So it looks like this stretch is you put your legs in like a V position. I have my left leg in the front. And then I'm going to take my right hand, fold at my hips, and bend down and see how close I get to touching the toes. Now, I'm pretty cold today, so this is about where I am right now. And then you try to open the other way and look over. Now, when I do that, I feel a lot of tension in this front hamstring. I feel uncomfortableness through my torso. What do you feel? Pay attention. We aren't even warmed up, so you shouldn't feel good in this stretch, and you shouldn't feel like you should be able to just fall in and do this stretch right away. What you want to feel is, what is your body telling you right now? When does it say to stop? Mine says about here. When I go into this twist, it's about like here. This is about where I am today right now, not being warmed up, and that's okay. Where are you? Don't do anything that feels unstable or that hurts in any way. So now let's try the other side. So you bring the right leg to the front, your left leg's behind. Go ahead and test that. See where your body says, okay, that's enough. And then if you go into this twist, where are you at? Not very far? That's all right. It's because we haven't even warmed up yet. It's okay. So let's see if we can get warmed up. All right. Let's start off with some stretches for our back and shoulders, for our chest. See if we can get kind of opened up and really get alive in our body. And you guys let me know if there's anything that doesn't seem to be working quite right. See if we can get some warmth in here. I don't know about you guys. I'm so cold. I'm so cold. Let's get some fire moving. All right, so bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand and resist like you're pulling both arms apart diagonally. You'll push up for strength all the way up to the ceiling and then pull down and across. Keep resisting with both hands at the same time and always move. So my right arm is trying to stay up, my left arm is trying to pull down. And then at the bottom, if it feels good, bring your head over to the left side and see if you can find that stretch in your neck. Push up for strength just as high as you can go, and then down for your stretch just as far as you feel safe and comfortable. Then bring your head to the other side. And just go up and down. See if you can really get inside your body. It's a funny thing to say. Crawl inside your body. No, don't crawl. It's more like you feel the actual sensation of your body as you stretch. So as I do this, I feel my arm stretching here. I can feel how my skin is like reacting to the coldness. Like there's just a chill in this place. I should have turned the heater on, but I'm always afraid that if I turn the heat on, that it's going to get too hot before class. There's nothing worse than it being really hot in class. Hi, bud. What do you think? You want to stretch? Yeah? You should turn around so everyone can see how cute you are. Yeah, thanks. Okay, up for strength and down for stretch. And just see if you can find that stretch through your neck. Make sure that you're staying in a range of motion that feels really good to you, that feels positive, that feels secure and stable. And you'll bring your head over to the left and see if you can find that stretch on the outside of your right shoulder and your neck. You just go back and forth. And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. So bring your left arm across your body, grab your wrist with your right hand, and you're going to resist like you're pulling both arms diagonally apart. Push up for strength all the way up towards the ceiling, as high as you feel safe. And then pull back down as far, again, as you feel safe. Just find that stability that works for you. And then when you get to the bottom, bring your head to the right this time. And see if you can find that stretch on the left side of your neck and shoulder. Up for strength and down for stretch. And you just go back and forth, finding your neck stretch, finding those muscles, getting really warmed up. Pretty enjoy the fact that there's a group of us online today. I love it. I love that there are people here today. It's good to see you guys, even if I can't see your faces. It's good to connect in some way. So thank you for saying hi in the chat. For those of you who are watching this recorded, I'm glad you're watching that too. Feel free to leave me a comment below. And if you're watching now, but not in real time, speed up, speed ahead to where we're live so that you can contribute to the chat with us so we can participate together in class instead of being a few minutes behind. It's okay to do that. And just take this time to really get in touch with your body, to get these muscles warmed up. Just see if you can really feel your body. Notice what the stretch feels like. It's important that we dive into this part of who we are first, that you start to feel your body before we get into stretching, because I don't want you to go into stretches just for the sake of stretching. I want you to be able to feel every single stretch in the exact right way. okay? It's important. It's really important that you understand that you need to feel your muscles as you're stretching, okay? If you don't feel them, there's a disconnect, there's a problem, and we'll have to fix that, okay? So now bring your right arm into the side of your body, your elbows tucked in close to your side, grab your wrist with your left hand, and you're gonna resist like you're pulling both arms apart diagonally. Push up for strength, you'll get your deltoids involved here, so that's right here, you want those muscles short, and then you're gonna push back down for your stretch, just as far as feels good. And then up and down, up for strength, and down for stretch, and as you come into the stretch, you should start to feel some warmth and maybe a little bit of a burn on the top of your shoulder here. That gets into the deltoid muscle. We want to get that muscle really warmed up, and you might notice that you only want to go a little bit like this, and that would be okay, right? If your lats don't want to fold down, then you're going to notice maybe some pain when you get down to the bottom, or you might lose your sensation of stretch or the ability to resist. So just pay attention to where you want to be in this stretch. And if you want to add your neck into it, you can. Just bring your wrist, pull your wrist all the way down towards your waist, your elbow to your waist. And then when you get to the bottom, hold it here and pull your ear over towards your left shoulder. So it's my left ear to my left shoulder, and maybe a little head nod, and see if you can feel that stretch through your neck and shoulder. Up for strength. And down for stretch. Bring your head to the left and find your neck there. So you can get a really good stretch, okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. When you start to get tired, feel free to stop, okay? If you get really burnt out, that just means that's where you are today. There will be certain stretches where you'll be happy to do 2 or 3. There'll be other stretches where you feel like you want to do 10 or 20. Right? It just depends on what your body needs that day. The stretches that you need the most will be the stretches that feel the best. And that's a real paradigm shift for a lot of people. Let's switch arms and I'll explain. So bring your left arm into the side, grab your wrist with your right hand, and push up for strength and down for stretch. And you just go back and forth again, finding the stretch in the top of your shoulder. And if you feel like you want to, bring your right ear to your right shoulder and find that stretch. And you just go back and forth, up and down. Good, okay, so let's talk about this paradigm shift. A lot of times people think in this day and age that if something hurts or something's not working properly or if there's some sort of problem, that you should continue working on that problem. That the stretch that doesn't feel good or the one that creates the pain is the one that you should do more, that you should practice that one more. That's faulty thinking. And I'll tell you why. When it comes to stretching, specifically with resistance stretching, if your body is in pain or tired or there's some sort of compensation pattern, there's some issue, then your body's natural response is to flip the switch in your brain and say, not that muscle, pick another. And it creates a compensation pattern. So anytime that you're in pain or you just don't feel good or something's not quite right or you feel really fatigued, then that compensation pattern is going to kick in. That's what your body does. So basically, when you continue to beat the dead horse, I like to call it, if you continue to do a stretch that doesn't feel good, then what ends up happening is that you reinforce the problem, you reinforce the compensation pattern. On the other end, your body knows what feels right and what feels good. And as far as stretching goes, your body likes to do what feels good, right? When you wake up in the morning, you stretch, you do what your body likes to do. You don't hang out in places that don't feel good. It's not what we like. Your body knows exactly what it needs. So when you find a stretch that you love and it feels really good, it feels good because your body knows that it needs to do that stretch. The stretch that you need to do the most of is the one that feels the best. The stretch you need to do the least of is the stretch that feels the worst, okay? It's a little bit of a split for your brain, but trust me on that. And then you'll notice that eventually that stretch that doesn't feel good will feel good. We're going into push-ups now. You can do these on your knees or you can do them on the wall, but you want to be in a plank position. I've got my arms nice and wide, and I'm going to very slowly drop towards the floor to open up the muscles in my chest, and then push back up. You only go down as far as you feel stable, and if you feel anything in your back, don't do it. You could also just go a little bit if that's where you feel stable and strong. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. Now, if you want to try this on the wall, it looks like this. You go up to the wall, you'll have your arms nice and wide. And again, in the same kind of plank position, let your elbows open up and your head drops towards the wall. Your chest is dropping towards the wall and opening up. Sometimes I find that this one's a little bit of a deeper stretch for me than on the floor. So you can play around with it. You could do both if you want. See what feels best. Opening up for your stretch, pushing up for strength. And again, stay out of pain. If you feel anything in the back of your shoulders, you can stop doing the stretch. It's totally fine, okay? All right, now the next stretch we're gonna do is also for the front of your shoulders here. It's for your arms and your biceps, kind of through the front of your shoulders. So you'll have your hands against the wall, and you're gonna resist like you're trying to pull your hands down towards your hips, like you're trying to slap your legs. Keep pulling with your arms and bend your hips. Bring your head through. And that's where you can stretch out the front of your shoulders. When you get to the deep part of your stretch, you just use your arms to pull you back up. And it's just a nice and gentle stretch, bending at your hips, pulling with your arms like you're trying to slap your legs the whole time. And bring your head through. And you just go up and down, up for strength and down for stretch. It's a good one. It's a really good one. Work in the range that works the best to you and just enjoy the fact that we're here today, that we're connecting, that we're all in class, that you're choosing to do this thing for yourself, to celebrate life, to celebrate your own body, to enjoy it. Like I said before, friends, stretching does not have to be uncomfortable at all. It doesn't have to be something that feels bad. It can be something that you really enjoy. And you know, I find a lot of times people come to me who don't like yoga. Like that happens a lot. People who are like, this isn't yoga, right? Like, they're like, please tell me this is not yoga. I'm not saying that yoga is a bad thing at all. I think in some ways it's really great. But I think there's this expectation that you're going to have some sort of like enlightenment or that you're going to feel so great after doing yoga. But if you beat yourself up through the whole class, the only benefit you're going to get at the end of class, if you've like really tortured yourself through class, is the positive reinforcement of being done with class, right? So what I want you to pay attention to is this feeling during class of really celebrating where you are, enjoying every single stretch for what it is. And if that stretch doesn't work for you, celebrate the fact that you recognize that and move on, right? Don't do that stretch or do the other side or work in a smaller range of motion. But make sure that every stretch you do, you're enjoying. This is super, super important. Okay, let's move on into our next group of stretches. I think, since this is revolved triangle, we're going to need some glute stability. So what I want you to do is lay on your side. Either side is fine. Bring your knees up so that your hips are bent at about 90 degrees and put your hand on top of your knee. And you're going to push with that hand down into your knee while you lift up for strength. And then push down for your stretch. Up for strength. And down for stretch. Now this one is a very strength-centered stretch. That means that you're going to feel more of a burn in this stretch than you're going to feel a stretch. That's okay. Just take it for what it is for you. Up for strength and down for stretch. Hi, baby girl. Now, after you've done a few, when you start to feel warmed up, you'll start to feel your glute kind of scream at you. Then keep pushing with your hand, and at the same speed that you're pushing your leg down, try to straighten it out in front of you. And you do this if it feels good to you. If it doesn't, you just stay with your leg bent. That's okay too. Just do what feels good. Take your time. See if you can find the stretch here. Find your own strength. Recognize where you're strong. This is important. So up for strength and down for stretch, and find that strength in your own body. Oh, I just found it. Super strong. And then go ahead and flip over and we'll do the other side. So again, you're going to bring your knees up so that your hips are bent at 90 degrees. Notice that my shins are parallel to my torso. So you don't want to have your feet back, but you have your feet in front of you, okay? Put your hand on top of your knee and push up for strength. And then use your top arm here to push you back down. And you just fight that force. There's resistance and movement through both stretches, both strength and stretch, I mean. Up for strength and down for stretch. See if you can find that burn in your glute. Find your own strength. Know where you can move safely. And if this doesn't feel safe, if it doesn't feel good, then just don't do it. Or do smaller ranges of motion, or do less repetitions. That's okay. If you feel like you want to straighten that leg out to get a little bit more into the stretch, feel free. Up for strength and down for your stretch. Your heel will kick forward. And you just go up and down. Up for strength and down for your stretch. Reaching for that last bit of fascia stretch for your IT band. So good. Oh, the burn. Okay. One more for me. You guys can stop whenever you feel ready. Ay, 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 ay. It's so good and so intense. Okay, when you're ready, come up into a seated position. Bring your feet together like a butterfly. You can sit on blocks or books or couch cushions or whatever if this is intense for you. That will just raise your body up a little bit higher and change the rotation that you have in your hips, okay? So feel free to change that as you go. Now put your elbows on your knees, and what you're going to do is squeeze your legs in while you push your arms open, okay? So you squeeze in, this is strength training, and you push open for your stretch. And as you push open, you'll feel this stretch in the front of your groin area, right in your inner thighs and your hips. So push in for strength and open for stretch, and find that stretch in your inner thighs. Up for strength and down for stretch. And again, see if you can find the strength in this stretch. Notice that you can resist the entire time, that when you come in for strength, those muscles are contracted, and as you come open, you're protected the entire time because you're contracting. So no matter what, no matter where you are, you can always get out of this stretch. You always want to have that feeling of being able to get out of the stretch. This is where courage in your body comes from. And I think it's really the foundation of courage in a lot of different ways, right? It's knowing how far you can go without breaking. Knowing how far you can go and still get yourself back to center, right? That's courage. Are you okay? You're not taking unnecessary risks. I mean, being courageous means that you're willing to do something that might seem a little difficult, but you know your limits. You know yourself and you can trust yourself. So you know what you can do, right? And then there's no fear. So if you're feeling fear in the stretch at all, then notice when that fear starts, because it might not be here, right? You might feel okay, you feel okay, you feel okay, and then at a certain point you're like, oh, well, it feels a little scary, and then you come right back. Okay, so you test the limits of where you feel afraid, and then you come right back out of it. It's a pretty cool idea when you think about it. And it translates into real life too, right? We have, you have to know what it feels like to feel courageous so that when you do have fear pop in, you know what to do with that fear. All right. Okay, we're going to go into our quad stretch next. And I think we'll do our quad pump today. So you lay on your back, since we're working on strength, really focusing on this idea, let's run with it. Bring your right leg up and grab it with both hands, and I just interlocked my fingers behind. Then resist by pushing your top leg into your right leg. So they're like scissoring. My right leg is going to push up towards the ceiling, and my left leg is going to pull it right back down. And this gives me a stretch through my quads in the front here. But what you might feel more than anything is just a burn, and that's okay. So find that burn in your quads right in the front. And really focus on that idea of strength. And if you feel anything uncomfortable or if it ever feels scary, you know when to stop. Just listen to your body. It'll tell you. Up for strength and down for stretch. And again, we're aiming for about 10, but you don't have to do 10. You do what feels right for your body. And when you start to feel like the burn is too much or it's just too intense, then you can stop. Just do as many as you want. All right. Give your leg a little break before we go into the next one. You might just want to shake it out, get some blood flow through there, and then we're going to do the other side. So we'll bring your left leg up and grab with both hands. Hook your right leg on top and resist between the two. You'll kick up for strength, so your left leg is straightening out, your right leg fights it. And then your right leg is going to win. Your left leg is still trying to straighten out though. So there's resistance between the two. It doesn't have to be a lot of resistance, it just has to be enough that there's a little bit of a fight between them. And just see if you can find that strength in your left quad, the strength to push back up, the strength to fight on the way down. Up for strength, and down for your stretch. And just find that stretch right in the front of your quad here. It'll feel like a burn more than a stretch, and that's good. It's totally fine. Up for strength, and down for stretch. And just keep that idea in mind of having the strength to push out of this. You are strong enough to get out of it. And you are strong enough to resist this motion the entire time. And when you get to the bottom, you're strong enough to get out of it. That's where courage comes from. To know that whatever happens, you're always strong enough to get out, right? You always have the strength to get out of some situation. I think if you didn't have the strength to get out of a situation, that would not be a courageous experience, right? I don't care how much of a hero you are, you gotta know that you can get out. So let's move on to our central hamstring now. You're gonna grab the ball of your foot with both hands or with one hand or with the strap. Feel free to use a towel or something to wrap around your foot. Kick down, kicking your heel towards your glutes, engaging your hamstring muscle here. Find that strength. And as you pull up, you come into your stretch with the knowledge the entire time that you can pull out of it at any time. So you're always kicking down even during your stretch, and then you're able to get out of it. You just go back and forth. And so it's okay for you to test this range of motion. It's okay for you to see if you can go a little bit further because you know you can get out of it. You know you're okay. You know that your body doesn't hurt when you do this. And if it does hurt, then this means that you have to move in a smaller range of motion where it doesn't hurt. Or do some problem solving, which you can find because I have an entire playlist on problem solving videos. So you can go look at those playlists. I also have every single stretch made out like stretch by stretch. So if you are like, I just don't understand how to do those stretches, like I just don't get it, you can go through like one by one and learn every stretch. So many resources for you guys. Okay, bring your left leg in, grab your foot with your left hand or with both hands or with the towel or strap, whatever feels good to you. Kick down for strength. Really focus on that strength motion while you pull up for your stretch. And you kick down for strength, and then keep kicking, knowing that you can always get out of this. It makes the stretch safe. When you get to the end of the stretch, you kick right back down. Move at your own pace. Do as many as you want. And we'll just go back and forth just like this. Down for strength, up for stretch. Find your strength here. Find where your courage lies. Find where you can just test a little further if you want. Maybe just a tad bit, but you can still kick out of it. You're still safe. Down for strength and up for stretch. Oh, good work, guys. Let's do one more, just for kicks. Okay. All right, now thinking about our triangle pose, revolve triangle, we better get into some hip flexors too, because we're going to need to fold into our hip flexors. So let's do that one. Let's do it this way. Come into a lunge with your right leg in the front, your left leg behind, and you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both legs together. Use your front leg to pull you into a lunge. Keep your tailbone tucked and your torso up. That'll get that stretch right into the front of your hip, and then you just pull right back. It can be kind of a small range of motion, but you want to feel this fold in your hip. And as you come forward, you want to feel the fold disappear from your hip. So you feel a straightening out here, and then you feel this hinge and a fold. And you just go back and forth. My right leg is pulling me towards that wall. My left leg is pulling me back towards this wall. So you're just going forward and back. And really focusing on the hinge of your hips here. And then having that hinge open up to straighten out through your hip here. Okay, you got it. I think it would be okay in these stretches to really take your time. To find them, like just even the process of the stretch, as a time for you to rest, right? Or maybe if you want to rest in between the stretches, that would be okay too. You know, just do a couple of stretches, take a breather, come back to them, that's okay. If you want to rest in between the stretches, that's all right. But taking this time, taking it slow, enjoying the stretch, enjoying this restful period that you give into your body, even if it feels like you're doing a lot of work, which you are. I mean, this is a lot of strength training. You can really work up a sweat doing this even. But even while you're stretching and while you're working your muscles in this way, it also feels very relaxing and restful. So take your time. Relax in these stretches, but still resisting. Can you find that balance? It's a little tricky. All right, and let's switch legs. So your right leg behind, your left leg in the front. You're going to use your left leg to pull you forward. Your right leg will fight you. Focus again on where that hinges in your hips. So when you pull back, you're actually folding at your hip joint to bend over. And then you use your front leg to pull you into the stretch. And as you do that, your hip straightens out on the right side. So on the way back, it hinges and forward for your stretch. And again, just find the place where you feel really good. Take your time, relax. Even while you're resisting, even while you're stretching, even while there's a lot of strength training going on. Take your time. This class can be time for you to just enjoy the rest, right? You've given yourself this time. giving yourself this time to really work on yourself and to understand that this is a practice. This is something that might take some time. That's okay. Just go with it. Honor this time and just rest and enjoy it, right? Okay, the next stretch we're going to go into is for your inner thighs, but I'm going to get a little bit of twist in this too. So let's come up into a side lunge. Bring your left leg out to the side and your right leg in, and grab your wrist over your head. It doesn't matter which wrist you grab or with what hand. I usually grab with my right hand because it's my dominant arm, but just pick whichever one, it doesn't matter. From here, I'm just going to lock my wrist in, and I'm going to try to pull my arms apart to activate through my side body. At the same time, I'm going to try to squeeze my legs together. So I'm trying to squeeze in like this, but the mat will stop me, the floor is in the way. And you're just going to go from one side to the other. So you lean to the left, or you lean to the right, I mean, and then you pull over to the left. And find the stretch in your inner thigh and through the side body on the right. It's your inner thigh on the left. And you just go back and forth. Whew. Open for strength and closing for stretch, reaching over your body. You just go back and forth. Open and close. You guys, I'm not cold anymore. It's exciting. I was so cold earlier. Oh, open for strength and close it for a stretch. Find that stretch in your inner thigh. If you want more stretch here, you can bring that leg a little further out if that feels good. See if you can find that stretch there. If it doesn't feel stable, bring it right back in, right? You don't have to do anything that doesn't feel good. Whew. Open for strength and closing for stretch. And just go back and forth. Awesome, awesome, all right. Okay, I gotta lose a layer. When I started class, I was wearing like winter socks, you remember? Sherpa socks. Okay, bring your right leg out to the side, grab your wrist with your hand. You're just gonna lock them in and try to resist by pulling your arms apart, like you're trying to pull your elbows down towards your waist. Open up to the left. This is strength training. Push your right foot into the ground and lean over this time to the right to find the stretch through the left side of your body and in the inner thigh on the right side here. So open up for strength and close it up for stretch. And you just go back and forth. Open for strength, close it for stretch. Whew. You guys, we're working. We're working now. It's good. So good. Oh, open for strength and close it up for your stretch. If you want to reach that foot out a little bit further, you can. See if you can find that stretch. And just find this restful period in this stretch, okay? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love these stretches. Okay. Let's see. Let us see. Lateral hamstring. This is going to be very important for our revolved triangle. So it's called revolved triangle. Lay on your back. Bring your left leg in close to your body and take your right arm over top and grab the outside of your foot. If you need a strap or a rope, it's fine. Just have your knee a little further away. Wrap the strap around your foot and hold on to it with your hand, okay? Then you'll use your arm to pull up while you kick your heel down. If you can grab the outside of your foot, go for it. Kick down for strength, kicking your heel to your butt. You want your knee to turn in towards your elbow so you get some internal rotation. And so as you're internally rotated, you pull up towards your head, but you're going to go a little bit towards the right side of your head so you end up on a diagonal. I'm not actually pulling to the right, I'm pulling up, but my knee is facing right. So I'm moving on a diagonal. You should find a stretch on the outside of your hamstring right through here. You might really love this stretch, you might really not. Find what feels good to you. But if you kick down for strength, contract the hamstring, find the strength in this stretch. Find the place where you can go but still kick out. Then you can rest in this stretch, right? That doesn't mean to not resist. It means you can let go of the fear, right? Kick down for strength and up for stretch. Find the strength in the muscle, know your limits, enjoy the stretch. Down for strength and up for stretch. All right, let's do the other side. I like to hold my head up, so I'm going to take my right arm and hold my head. I'm going to bring my left arm in, I'm going to bring my right leg in and take my left arm over my shin to grab the outside of my foot. Again, if you want to use a strap or a rope, just wrap the rope around your right foot and hold on to your rope with your left hand. Okay? When you get into the stretch, turn your knee in close to your left elbow so that you get internal rotation from your hip joint. Kick down for strength, and while you're still kicking down, you'll pull up for your stretch. This should be a diagonal stretch. When you start at the bottom here, your heel's pointing to the right, your knee is pointing to the left. As you come up into the stretch, that rotation doesn't change. So you end up pulling your toes over your left side of your head, like somewhere up here, diagonally across your body. Kicking down for strength, find that strength in your hamstring so that as you come up into the stretch, you can relax a bit, not relaxing the muscle, just relaxing your mind. There doesn't have to be any fear in this stretch when you know what your limits are, right? When you know where you can stop, where you know where you can resist the whole time, then there's no fear. Then you can relax and enjoy the restful part of this experience. Your body will enjoy it a lot more. Kicking down for strength and up for stretch. And that means that if you only go this far, that's okay. That's what you've got today. That's a place where you can be courageous. That's a place where you can find some rest in the stretch. If that's a place where you can really celebrate, then go for it. It's fine. Do what's good for you. I'll tell you guys, when I first started doing these stretches, they didn't all work. That's the truth. They definitely did not all work. Some of them really didn't work at all. So you just have to be patient with yourself and recognize that there are certain things that you might want to postpone. Like if you were doing that stretch and you're like, I just do not get this, or you feel really frustrated, or if it felt painful, then it's okay. You just skip it today. And tomorrow you try again and you see if you can find a little bit more courage in that stretch than you have before. And if you can't, it's okay, you skip it. You come back and try it again, because there will be a stretch somewhere that you need so bad that it'll feel amazing. And then when you come back to the stretch, it won't feel bad anymore. Okay? That's how it works. I promise. I promise. All right. Let's go into our last group of stretches. Go ahead and have a seat in whichever way feels great to you. Bring your right arm up and grab your elbow with your left hand, and you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart, just to the side wall, straight out to the side. Push open for strength. So pushing to the right, this is a strength motion. And I pull across for my stretch. You'll feel this in the outside of your shoulder, right through here in the back. And you just open and close. See if you can keep this stretch completely in control the whole time. So as you open here, you've got control, and as you come across, you're in control. You're in control because of a couple things. Number one, you can feel the muscle, right? If you can feel the muscle in the back of your shoulder, you've got this. It's not a problem. You totally have it. If you can find the place where you don't feel afraid, where you know you can still push out of it at any point in time, then you're okay. And that may mean this much, and that's all right. You just do what feels good to you. So pulling across, find the place where you feel like you're always in control. You've always got that strength to push out. And then you'll also know you're completely in control of this stretch if you can find some rest in it. Okay? You don't have to think too hard. If you can put yourself in your body, if you even just feel like you can focus on just the stretch feeling and not worry about anything else, then you've got control. It's a good thing. All right. Let's do the other side. Bring your left arm up and grab your elbow with your right hand and try to pull both arms apart. You'll push open this time to the left and you'll pull across to the right. And as you pull, you'll feel the stretch in the back of your shoulder. And again, first focus on just feeling the muscle. Just find it. Just find that muscle. Then find the strength to push out of the stretch. And find the strength to pull into the stretch, but know that you can get out of it at any time. Take the next stretch to see if you can really rest in the stretch. Find some stillness in your mind. Find some stillness in your emotions. Find the place where this stretch just is, where it just is the stretch. There's nothing else going on. There's nothing funny about it. It's just the stretch. And that's when you know you've got complete control. You've mastered it. You've got it. And it doesn't matter what your range of motion is. Okay? It doesn't matter at all. Range of motion is subjective to every human being, right? There are certain people who will have huge range of motions in one stretch and they can't do anything on the other side. It's just the way it goes, right? We all have different ranges, okay? All right, let's go into a stretch next for our lats, and I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more twist in this one because this is going to be important for our revolved triangle. So bring your, which leg is this? Bring your left leg out to the front. Take your right leg and just tuck it into where you feel good. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can sit in a chair to do this stretch, or you can sit with your legs crossed. You can do whatever feels good to you, okay? Bring your right arm up so that your hand is just behind your neck. And then grab your elbow with your left hand. Now this shouldn't feel uncomfortable. If it does, then you can grab your wrist like we were doing before. Okay, so you can open that gap a little bit here. And then try to resist by pulling your elbows apart. And as you do that, pull over your left leg. And see if you can find a twist here. Maybe looking down towards the floor and then looking up towards the ceiling. And then come right back up. Only twist in the way that feels good to you. So if it doesn't feel good, just don't do it. Up for strength and over for your stretch. And find the stretch in the way that feels good to you. Maybe a little twist at the end, that would be okay. All right? Up for strength and over for stretch. You just go back and forth. You should feel the stretch from your armpit down towards your hip on the right side. Hopefully that feels really good to you. Again, find the muscle. Feel that muscle. Celebrate that you can feel that muscle. Feels good. It feels so good. Find the strength to pull yourself back up, knowing that you have the courage in that muscle to perform the stretch. And then see if you can rest within this stretch so that you can kind of clear your brain a little. Mine just went, whew. Clear your mind, right? That's a real mastery over your thoughts, over your emotions. Up for strength and over for stretch. I switch sides. So now I have my right leg out to the side, my left leg is tucked in, my left arm is up, and I grab my elbow with my right hand, and I'm just gonna resist by trying to pull my body up with my left arm while I use my right arm to pull me down over my foot. And again, you can twist down if that feels good. You can twist up if it feels good. You can find the balance in between. See what your body wants to do, okay? Whew. Up for strength and over for stretch. Find that stretch in the way that feels the best to you. Oh, sweet mama. That's a good one. Sometimes these stretches bring the cat out. I don't know where she is. Sleeping. She's like, forget it, it's 11 o'clock. She plays for the 9 o'clock class. She sleeps through 11 o'clock class, just so you guys know, if you're here for the cat. That's fair. She's cute. So true. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a rotator cuff stretch next. Bring your hands together, raise your thumbs right over your head, and squeeze your elbows together like you're trying to pop a balloon between your arms. Squeeze and open. And again, only go as far as feels good. Access that stretch in the back of your shoulders. Find the place that feels safe the whole time. When you've got it, see if you can empty your mind and just feel that stretch. When you do that, you'll notice that you are truly in control of your body and your mind, and that's pretty cool. All right, and the next stretch we're going to do is for the front of your shoulders. So come back into a table position. Your hands will go right behind your body. And what you'll do here is roll your shoulders in towards your chest. Use your arms to push into the floor to rotate your shoulders open. So you curl in, this is strength training, and you push, you lift your chest up. If you feel like you want to bring your neck back, you can. But again, just do what feels good to you. Pull in for strength and open for stretch. You should feel this in the front of your chest, maybe in your neck, maybe through your arms, through your forearms, depends on where you're sore. Find what feels good to you. Curling in for strength and opening for stretch. See if you can find what feels the best to you. And again, see, once you have access to the muscle, once you know you're safe, once you know what your range is, then go ahead and let yourself rest in the stretch and enjoy it. Let your mind rest. Empty out any thoughts. Let your ego go. You know where you're safe. You know what you can do. In for strength and open for stretch. All right, guys, we're going to do one more stretch for our inner thighs, and then we're going to go back and try our revolved triangle and see if we can go a little deeper into that one, okay? So go ahead and lay on your back. Bring your right leg up and grab your heel with your right hand. My knee opens up to the right also, so I have a little bit of extra rotation in my leg. And then you're going to kick down for strength and pull up for stretch. And you just go back and forth again, finding the place where you feel the best, knowing that you're strong the whole time, that you can always get out of this stretch at any point in time. Feel the muscle. And then once you've got it, just enjoy it. Let everything else go. For this moment, it's just you and the muscle. That's it. Down for strength and up for stretch. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. If you want, you can hold your head up with your right hand. Bring your left arm or your left leg up towards your chest. Let your knee open up a little to the left. Take your left hand, thumb down, and grab your heel. If you want to use a strap or a rope, you can. Kick your heel down towards your body, find that resistance, and then use your arm to pull you up. It's a diagonal stretch to the left. You should feel a little bit of inner hamstring here, kind of almost inner thigh, but also to the back. And you just go up and down. Down for strength, and up for stretch. Finding that stretch in your hamstring. Knowing where you're safe, having the courage to go into that stretch in the way that feels really good to you, right? It's sometimes courage in itself to be able to say, this is what I've got, right? Sometimes you have to have that. You have to allow yourself to be who you truly are. And that might mean a small range of motion in this stretch. That's okay. That's okay. You do what feels right to you. It's the most important thing. Otherwise, these stretches will be riddled with fear. They'll be uncomfortable. Your body will be trying to get you out of them, and your body will continue to yell at you all the time. And who wants that? Not me. I don't want that. Okay, let's try our revolve triangle again, and we'll be done with class. So go ahead and bring your, let's do it this way. Bring your left leg in front, your right leg behind. Find a place where you feel safe here. Now your resistance is really gravity. It's your ability to stay standing. So you don't have to worry about resistance too much. Just keep your legs pretty active, okay? So they're gonna like try to almost like scissor together, have that feeling. That's gonna keep you really grounded and balanced. Now fold at your hips and see how far down you can go. And then drop your right arm towards the floor. If you can bring it down, you can. If you can't, that's okay. If you're up here, that's okay. If you're up here, that's okay. You just do what feels good to you. You listen to your body, feel the muscles working, have the courage to say stop, right? Know where you can go. Know when it starts to feel scary. It'll start to feel scary when you feel like you're gonna fall over, right? So you just test this back and forth. You tip, you bend at your hips. If you want to bring this hand down, you should, or you can. You should always feel like you can pull yourself up though. If you can't get yourself back up, you should not put your hands on the floor. Got it? It's important. And I don't care. Don't get a block. Don't get a chair. Don't think, well, I can do this. I do this in yoga class if I have a block. It doesn't matter if you have a block or not. You have to be able to get back up, okay? So if you can't get your hand to the floor yet, don't even bother with this twist. Got it? So you can put your hand on the floor if it feels good, and then open up with your left arm, pushing through your hand and reaching with your left arm to find this stretch. I'm going to come back down and pull my body back up. Now, if you really are like, but I want to twist, Carrie, and I can't reach the floor, that's okay. Just bring your body to the side, or go ahead and tip over. And then just look up over your left shoulder. That might be enough. That's all, it's just a twist, right? So you don't have to do all this arm stuff. Or you could put your arms straight out to the side and windmill until you feel like you might fall, and then come back to center, right? Just see where that leaves you, right? This is what resistance stretching is. It's this ability to test and play and see where you're at, know where you're strong, know where you can continue to push out of it, right? You always want to have that feeling of safety the whole time. Okay, we're going to switch sides. I just flipped around so I can still look at you guys when I twist. So now I have my right leg in the front, my left leg's behind, and I'm going to fold at my hips. I'm going to keep my legs really stable, and I'm going to try to bend over and see how that feels. I'm testing my strength here. I'm testing the courage that I have in this pose. And as soon as I feel a little wobbly or kind of wonky or it doesn't quite feel right, I'm going to come right back up. And then down for my stretch. I'm keeping my legs really active. I'm fighting gravity. I'm testing my balance. I'm seeing where I'm safe. Can I put this hand up? Yeah, but I can also get back up. That's important. So find the stretch. Maybe if you want to do like those windmill arms like I was saying, and you can twist and look up to the right, see how that feels. And come back to normal and back up. right? You always want to feel stable and safe. If you can get your arm to the ground, push your hand into the floor and try to reach with your right arm up towards the ceiling and open up in that way. But you should always feel like you can come back up without having to help yourself. Your back, your spinal extensors, your hamstrings, they're all happy to help you. They're all active. They're all here keeping you safe. Maybe it's just a little look over your right shoulder, okay? If it feels good, it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, it's okay to just leave it. All right, friends? Okay. Whew. Oh, perfect timing. Sometimes I'm a timing genius. It's just now 12 o'clock. At least it is for me. I think there's a little bit of a delay for you guys. Just real quick, a couple little announcements. We are putting together a self-stretching certification. So if you guys love these stretches and if you're interested, we'll be doing this on Zoom, actually. I'm taking 10 people at a time. So feel free to go to my website at stretch2.com, fill out the contact form, let me know you're interested, and I will get you all those details. Looks like we're doing a trial run first next week, and then we'll probably be ready to go at the end of May, it looks like. And if you're watching this later, because it is recorded, then just get in touch with me and I'll let you know when the next one is, okay? If you guys are interested in supporting, all right? I love you guys. I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to see you all in person. Have a great week. Remember, classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m., Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time. All right, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.